Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Shore Live Cooper's Corner. We're live this evening. It is October the 3rd, 2018 already. Everybody's getting ready for Halloween and Thanksgiving. I can't believe this, that in a few months that, we're going to be into a new year. I don't know where 2018 has gone, but I hope that 2019 is better for everyone. I hope you're all well and enjoying whatever spring or summer-like weather we are having, because October is notorious for chilly winds and rain. And so I believe that there will be rain in the forecast for the next couple of days, but I'm settling for that, as if I have anything to say about Mother Nature, better than snow. No. Can't do the snow. Anyway, we have wonderful guests on our program this evening. And this is, as you saw, our front page. It is Brushwood, and famous Angela Walker, the wonderful singer, who you've seen on the program, always speaks about Brushwood. And of course, the actor that was there, that she came and she sang to, Robert Redford, and his wife, who is an artist and does rain water or rain painting. And so we'll get into that. But I want to introduce our guests. Catherine Game, who is directly to my left, and then Marshall, who is a United States Air Force veteran and a photographer, but he could be an artist as well. The pictures he takes are really outstanding, and you'll be seeing that. So without any further ado, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to have you. And Catherine, how did you get involved in Brushwood? What is Brushwood to you?
That's a great question. I am the executive director of Brushwood Center, so I've been there about a year and a half now. But I originally got involved with the organization when I first moved to Chicago in 2010, because Brushwood Center was doing some really amazing work at the intersection of art and nature, and that's very much what the organization is about. And those are two of my personal passions too. I'm an artist and a big nature enthusiast. But Brushwood Center is this kind of hidden treasure in Lake County, as we were discussing earlier. Sure. Yeah, it's just down the road. It's this center based out of the historic Ryerson home in the middle of this 565-acre nature preserve called
incredible.
Ryerson Woods.
Incredible.
It's really amazing. And so the house was built in 1942 by the Ryerson family. Ryerson Steel is the company that Edward Ryerson ran, and they built the house as kind of an escape, a getaway. It was their Wisconsin or Michigan cabin at the time. And now it's continuing kind of that legacy of being a retreat and being a place of peace for people throughout Lake County, throughout the Chicago region to enjoy. So we do a lot of programming with veterans through our Addies program, which offers art and nature programs to veterans at no charge. It's in partnership with the Captain James A. Lovell Federal Healthcare Center. But we also offer a lot of community programming as well, art classes, theater programs, exhibitions, all sorts of events. So it's a really wonderful place. And
I need to ask you about the gentleman on the cover of that magazine.
Yes, so Robert Redford and his wonderful wife, Sibylla Shagars Redford, blessed us with their presence at our annual Smith Nature Symposium, which is our annual benefit dinner, but it's also an opportunity where we present our Distinguished Leadership Award to individuals who have made a significant contribution in the world of nature. And believe it or not, the Redfords have really just done some incredible work for nature. through the Sundance, you're probably familiar with the Sundance Film Festival.
Yes.
And so they have this whole property with the Sundance Resort where they preserved 5,000 acres of land.
Wow.
And they're helping to ensure that it stays protected for future generations. And then Sibylla, his wife, has created this incredible performance called The Way of the Rain that helps to really promote the importance of the beauty of nature, but also the fragility and our responsibility, you know, as citizens of this country and of this planet to conserve it for future generations, for our kids. So we were really excited. They made an appearance, and I brought another photo from the event.
Wow.
This is Robert Redford with Donna LaPietra and Bill Curtis.
Bill Curtis,
who
that's
were
right.
our masters of ceremonies.
Bill Curtis.
And then Sibylla. Hey, that
Remember
was
Bill
pretty
Curtis,
good.
Thank you.
Channel
That's
2
pretty
News?
I love Bill Curtis.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we were just so excited to have them all join. Donna and Bill have also done some really incredible work with land conservation in the Lake County area and beyond. So there's some really amazing nature heroes in our kind of purview here.
I had
It's
no
amazing.
idea that that was, you know, their main, I figured, film and anything that they can do to help, you know, artists, you know, actors, actresses, whatever, in that kind of frame, or directors or whatever, cinematography, something,
Right.
but had no knowledge
Yeah.
that they were so, you know, environmentalists. I mean, I mean, really environmentalists. That's an awful lot of acreage and land to be, you know, a steward of. That's really incredible.
It is. It is really incredible.
And so, what is it that Robert Redford brought to Brushwood? I mean, besides his wife and her paintings, I mean, what is it?
Well, they actually, thanks to the generosity of Nancy Hughes, who underwrote this performance of The Way of the Rain, they actually brought this whole performance to the Gordon Center in Lake Forest.
Oh, the Gordon Center. Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, so they, you know, the music is by Tim Janis. He's a nationally renowned composer. And then they brought in talent from, you know, it's like bringing a Broadway performance to the Gordon Center. It was really amazing. And everyone who walked out of that space was just so moved, you know. It didn't matter where you came from, your political perspective. It's like they really did this wonderful job of just sharing their story of the beauty of this planet. Yeah, it was really, really wonderful.
You know, really, the last picture I think that I'm aware of that Robert Redford was in was a Sundance Kid, or the, you know, whatever.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Butch Cassidy, yeah.
Paul Newman, Robert Redford, yes.
Yes, and
Yes,
so that's, you know, that was the last thing I really had knowledge of. And then I didn't even know that his, you know, his real inner feelings was so much for the land.
He's
Yeah.
very philanthropic.
Very
So-
generous.
Very much so.
Now, was it your idea, Marshall, to take, I mean, did you take his picture on the cover of this, or?
Oh, no, dear,
do
no.
you do any of that celebrity kind of picture taking?
If I had an opportunity to, I'm sure I would love
Like
to.
to?
But yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. No, my involvement with Catherine and Brushwood started with me working at the transportation department at Captain Level Federal Healthcare Center, and one of the trips that we take, because as drivers we take our fellow veterans out to various activities, and this happened to be one of them. And I've always liked photography. I've never had an opportunity to really take it on as a hobby, but I thought I could take decent pictures. And then I asked Elizabeth Lacombe, one of the recreational therapists there, even though I'm driving them out here, I'm still a vet, I'm a patient, you know, I use the VA
You
for
can
my.
be you're entitled, of course.
Exactly. So I said,
Of
would it be
course.
okay if I participated? And she was like, absolutely.
Sure.
She loved the idea. So that's when I started to get involved and started taking lessons at the Brushwood Center, which is, again, it's in this beautiful wooded area. There's just so much to see. It's so peaceful, and it is in the middle of all kinds of things. It's like it's off of Riverwoods Drive and Half Day and that that area. So I'm giving street names because I drove there, of course.
You can give the exact route.
So I just fell in love with it, and it wasn't just from my perspective of capturing these images of nature and the beauty of nature through learning how to do it through the Brushwood Nature Center, but it was seeing what my fellow vets who are patients. Some are in different programs there, the PTSD or homeless program or the greenhouse program, which is our permanent residents at the VA. How they just take to it and they just participate and they love it, and it's such a therapeutic. The therapeutic benefits are it's beyond measure. And what these guys do for these vets, it blows me away. And for me to be able to actually participate in it as well, to me was a no-brainer. And I just love it every time. I can't take him every time because we rotate with the drivers, but every chance I get, I request, can I do this job by chance? Can I go ahead and take these guys out there? So, and I guess I have a little bit of an eye for it. And again, it's from what I learned at what they were showing and how to take pictures, and they have wonderful teachers come in to educate the vets, and I just.
Well, Catherine, I think you should show. That's a beautiful segue into what we're going to talk.
Yeah.
Now that
Yes.
is a picture that you took.
Yeah, this is a picture. This was done through a program with ComEd, I believe, is
Yeah.
where Commonwealth Edison has huge tracts of land of where their power lines are, and bless them, instead of having big lawns and mowing the grass and maintaining them, their conservation program is bringing back the natural prairie that are indigenous to Illinois,
Yeah.
and they wanted to somehow document the progress they've made. And
Now
this was taken at the Deerfield Road, right down the street here, as a matter of fact, just east of 41.
Yeah.
Yep. And these are some of the pictures I've taken, as well as some of the other veterans have taken.
Yeah, I'll flip through some of these. But it is really amazing. I mean, like you said, they're taking this land that would just
sit
grass
there.
and weeds and making it into really valuable habitat for birds and bees.
Conservation, yeah. And these are pictures of a lot of the vets in the program had taken. I got a couple in here, I think. We saw the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Look at
Aren't those
I'm not sure
beautiful?
who
You
took
can
which
see the
ones.
bee.
Oh, the bee. Look
This
at the
one,
bee.
yeah, this one's mine, and this one is mine. With some close-ups and.
And this one is yours, right?
Yeah, and.
With the utility lines juxtaposed with the
I mean,
nature.
everything that you look at really is a picture. It's a little snippet of life in whatever area you might be, walking down a path or. But that's beautiful because that's nature.
There's I quoted Elizabeth Lacombe asked me to quote something. If you want me to read it, I can. But it says, I quote, "I find the challenge of finding and then capturing that perfect moment to be utterly mind-clearing. For that one brief slice of time, nothing else matters. From my eye through the camera lens to the click of the shutter, nothing else exists except that moment captured forever."
Captured forever, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, just seeing what they've been doing and able to actually just find that right moment and that right angle or whatever it takes. It's just,
Yeah.
Have
it
you
is very mind clearing is a great way to say it, especially when you're talking about for therapeutic purposes.
Have you always been interested in photography, or was it painting, or was it sculpture? What drove you to?
Believe it or not, I mean, I played tuba for years and years. I was a musician for a long time. I've tried my hand at drawing and stuff like that. My brother Lauren is the artist of that type, but I found I would try and take pictures from what was in the Air Force, air show, stuff like that, but I don't think it really clicked in me until the program, until this started, yeah.
Well, and we know, I mean, level has this great therapy, music therapy program, arts therapy program. We know the benefits of the arts for that purpose, but what I think is often not recognized is that spending time in nature actually has a lot of those same therapeutic benefits as well. There's research showing that when you're on a kind of quiet hike or in a group setting, going on a hike out in nature, that your blood pressure lowers, you become more relaxed, anxiety decreases, stress decreases. So it's kind of a powerful combination when you take photography and the arts and you combine it with these beautiful natural settings that we're blessed with stunning. In the region.
It is stunning. You do this by yourself. I mean, and is there anything when you're home? I mean, do you take pictures of birds out the window?
Well,
or
if I'm gonna walk off camera for just 1 second. I've got something in the bag. I want to show you real quick.
Careful, you're hooked up.
Am I hooked up?
Yeah, you can't really.
Oh, I'm hardwired. I'm sorry.
So
I actually brought the camera that the program uses. Unless you have it too. But what I do is, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. But with that question, I did bring the camera that the program uses. They have, I think they have several, like a dozen of these cameras.
They're all named after bird species.
I happen to have hawk. So kindly enough, I had asked Elizabeth and Catherine if I would be able to hang on to a camera to take home and use while, just to practice. And she said yes. I mean, these are very simple to use Nikon Coolpix cameras, and they have a lot of fun little things you can play with, shutter speeds and all that stuff. And one of the trips we took, actually, they dove into what the specifics of the cameras are. So, but you were asking, yes, I do. I took everything from Passover pictures at a Seder I was at to other veteran activities that I go on. I'll bring this camera with, so the other recreational therapists can have pictures of what they're doing with other groups, like Healing Waters. It's a fishing program.
Oh, nice.
My garden program, I've taken a lot of pictures. Any opportunity I get, I think being vet-centric is very important to me, and being able to capture
your hands on a instrument that helps you express your beauty, your love for the beauty, and then captures it forever. It's not just your memory. I mean, you can think of it, but how do you express the color of the memory to someone who needs a visual to understand that? That's magnificent to do that. So that's just regular film in there that
It's a digital camera.
Oh, digital.
It's digital, right? I did attempt to do film years and years ago. Again, I did photography a little bit here and there, just never really got into it that much. But digital, there's nothing like film. I mean, film it's got its own taste, its own touch and feel.
Yeah.
A good wide 110, wide film. It does, but digital, I think, it's so much more versatile. It makes it a lot less expensive after the initial investment. I mean, I have got to have hundreds and hundreds of pictures on this with just a 32 gigabyte, a little USB or flash drive. Memory card, thank you. So it makes it a lot easier.
That's incredible.
And cheaper. Yeah, yeah. And so I take advantage of it, especially when I do trips with vets, not just at Brushwood, but other activities they do. Absolutely.
I know when Angela Walker came on the program, I mean, we have Steve, he gave me one of his medals that he won, and we've got a picture of the group because they were the disabled vet in wheelchairs. So I said, yes, I'm so happy to have that, thank you. And I keep that on there always, that will always be there. But the picture of the moment that you win that that illustrious medal, or that you make it over the line, or whatever you do, is wonderful. It is such a feeling of power that you were
Right.
able to
Right.
compete and win something. Now, I think you talked about your garden before. That's winning because you are giving that produce to those who are in need of it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
food. That's for people to eat.
Absolutely. It's we try and stay, we try to stay organic. And again, the main purpose for the program that I'm involved in with Growing Healthy Veterans is getting the veterans out there.
Get 'em
We
out,
have
yeah.
one of Suzanne Brown is one of the recreational therapists. She works with the PTSD group. It's a 7-week program our veterans come into at Lovell, and she will bring a lot of the veterans out on a Saturday to our garden, and just having them, there's something just like being in nature, just like being surrounded by nature for that blood pressure lowering, just, you know, getting your hands into the dirt. It's something as well. It's just when you're accomplishing something, and like you said, their win is having a pumpkin come out this huge, you know,
They
which we
grew
did.
it
Exactly.
themselves.
Ghost peppers that'll burn your, you know, your
Guts out.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, good grief.
The tomatoes we picked, I mean, just being there, and as even from our, we do have some older wheelchair bound veterans as well that had come out to the garden. One is Barb Miller. She's 94, 95. Our oldest Marine at the VA. She's come out and just to sit down and relax and watch the others, you know, work the garden, and she loves it. And again, it's
How
communing
large
with nature.
How large of a parcel is it?
We have it's like 110 by 110 square feet. We were able to make a deal with the City of North Chicago mayor and the council, and Alderman Allen, whose district this garden is in, unanimously approved the land usage because it was 14 acres that weren't being used. So we just wanted a small part of it and stuff like that. Yeah.
But so who waters it? How do you get water to it? How do you?
They also, their public works department, through 2 donated cisterns that sit at the garden, come out when we need it. They'll fill up with water with us, and there's no electricity or anything out there. So we got a pump that we use to pump water. Of course, as your earlier weather report indicated, we haven't needed
It's
to do
going
that
to
for a
rain.
while.
You're not going to need it,
Exactly,
babe.
Exactly.
It's going to rain.
Right.
It's going to rain.
Right. So
Yeah.
so there's we've been doing this for this is our 3rd year, and we started with a couple of small plots over at Prairie Crossing in towards Grays Lake, and it worked beautifully. 2 plots that we had vets come out, but because we're in North Chicago, we're in Lovell's backyard, and it's 5 minutes away. A lot more participation, and the community itself. We have community. We have neighbors coming out to help garden. We have the kids coming out when we're there. We have our cookouts. I mean, it's just, that was the point. That's what sold North Chicago, I think, is it's not just for the vets, though that's that's the focus. It's for the community as well.
So the food that you gather, you grow and you gather.
We harvest. We just had our harvest this last Saturday.
And I mean, are we talking bushels?
The first garden, not quite. We've probably, and I'm totally guessing, but we've probably collected a few hundred pounds of food right now.
Wow.
Which is relatively speaking is small for that size parcel, but we haven't harvested everything yet either. We still have a lot of, we have the cute little pumpkins that you get at the store and stuff as well. We did harvest these wonderful red potatoes. I'll even pull up some pictures here in a minute, but so we're hoping next year to expand out an additional 50 feet on each side to grow more, plus expand at least another 10 plots. Anyone can come out, any veteran can come out, any community member can come out and have their own plot. This year it didn't cost anything. Next year there might be like $10 or $15 for the entire season, just kind of as a buy-in, to take ownership of it.
Right.
And we've also obligated to the community that if somebody has an issue keeping it up, we'll help them. We'll help them maintain
Help
it.
them along.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there's no cost to this food that you are
No, absolutely
providing?
not.
And-
Absolutely. The most that we might do, we're thinking for next year, is harvest pumpkins to sell for the program, because we're a nonprofit.
So, I mean, how many people would you say you're feeding then?
That's a very hard metric to measure, because It could feed, I mean, from what we've harvested this year and given away to the community, you're talking anywhere between 30 to 50 to 75 people at least, at minimum. Okay, because like, again, a lot of it goes to the food pantry, and a lot of it goes to the community. Our neighbors will come out and they'll see some of the produce and we'll say, please take home and eat. Absolutely. So it's a hard metric to measure, and I'm not the expert in the agriculture department. I mean, I'm a young Jewish guy from Skokie who never knew how to raise a farm or whatever. But
you're on a farm now.
This is true.
Yeah.
So I'm not, but Lucan could give you all those specifics and numbers. He's very good at what he does.
But see, from your idea of that, you're feeding people,
Yes.
which is wonderful. And you know, there are people that really are in need. They don't want to say it, but they really need.
Well, and this gives them the opportunity to, and especially if you're growing your own food. I mean, as part of a community, if you're giving something away, it's not like you're asking for food, but you're not asking as much as we're saying, here, we got so much, take
it.
You know, absolutely. And it's not only that, but I think one of the issues that North Chicago does have, like a lot of communities, it's kind of a food desert. There's not really healthy food locally that folks can get to, and we kind of want to fill that gap. Right now, it's you have McDonald's and Burger King, and you get all kinds of fast food.
There's no kind of
One
farmer's
after-
market.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Like a farmer's market would
That
be
is one
good.
of our. That's going to be one of our goals, is to actually do a farmers market by next year. We're actually opening up a new plot, and we're going to be having a fundraiser soon, in conjunction with the American Legion, Post 771 in Gurnee. We're actually putting up 2 hoop houses, so we can extend the growing season well into November,
winter.
December, and start it much earlier. And we're probably going to try like raspberries and stuff that we can grow inside. So
That would
we're
be good.
expanding, and we've had a lot of support from great partners like Home Depot. They've donated a lot of equipment that we've been using.
Nice.
Again, the city of North Chicago has been wonderful. Lovell, partnering with them has been fantastic, just like with Brushwood. I mean,
Yep.
it's not just, the VA is there for veterans, but there's so much out there more for veterans. It's
In
They
the
don't know.
community.
they don't know.
They
That's
don't
the
know.
problem.
They don't know.
They really don't. And I think educating them is really one of the biggest issues that we have. I think getting the word out there, because, and it's not just, and once they find out, sometimes they don't want the help. We found that too. I mean, I know that I was
Why
having
would that be? I don't understand that.
a lot of it is possibly due to, and I'm not an expert at it, but I'm just saying from what my talk with other veterans and other people that volunteer like I do, that a lot of it is from their stress from being in combat, PTSD.
The combat, yeah.
A lot of it has led to, it's kind of a snowball effect. I mean, you have issues, you medicate,
Yeah.
then you self-medicate, and it just gets, and they either they're embarrassed to ask for help, which is that's a big
Well,
thing. Pride
but
and dignity is a very big issue.
But a lot of the guys and gals, they feel that they want to do it themselves. They don't want to
Absolutely,
let
absolutely.
anybody
That is a
to
very big
know.
part. It is, Beth.
They would do it slowly, but the consideration, Catherine, is that you give them meaning the veterans and anyone who comes to your door at Brushwood, the opportunity to express themselves, relieve themselves of stress and pressure. And what you said, 500 acres, this is incredible out there.
Yeah.
You could get lost.
Yeah.
You're in a city, but you're really on another planet because
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
incredible.
Yeah, there's 6.5 miles of trails at Ryerson Woods, and Marshall has
I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but this is the classroom at Brushwood Center that the veterans, we would sit down, learn more about photography, and actually have an idea what we're doing that day, what we're focusing on, shading or lighting or shutter speed. But I hope I'm doing the right side here. But this is outside. This is the Ryerson residence that Catherine was talking about. It's from 1940.
1942.
1942.
This is the house. Yep.
But outside, you can see our vets
Oh, yeah.
We're about to go out onto one of the classes. And one thing, like I said, I love focusing on nature and taking pictures of, like the ComEd, the prairies out there, but I like taking pictures of the vets. Now, you won't see a lot of faces because they're in, if they're in certain programs, sometimes they don't want to be identified specifically.
Okay, that's fine.
But the ones that are here, they're fine with it. But you may see a lot of backs, but you see we just heading out. And this is during, I think this is winter, or this is when the honey,
Yeah.
we,
Oh,
Yeah,
the
you
maple
could
syrup.
see.
the maple
hike.
syrup, not the honey.
Oh,
Right.
Yes.
do you have trees that you tap out there?
Yes.
Yes, as a matter of fact, they do.
Yeah.
trees?
Yes.
So we work in partnership with
Wonderful.
Lake County Forest Preserves, and every
delicious.
spring they do maple syrup hikes. So we
Wow,
partnered
that's
to do
delicious.
this with the photography program.
And what and you can see this
Then
is,
we made pancakes.
yes.
And we
And
make
that was the
pancakes,
must.
and we eat
So if
pancakes.
anyone
Exactly.
wants to
You
come,
might make them,
you're
but we
welcome
eat
there.
them. Okay.
But these are pictures that I take, and again, I like to focus on taking pictures of other veterans because, again, that to me is a subject that, like you were saying, when
Yeah.
somebody crosses that line, gets that medal, you can see it. If you can capture even a little bit
Yes,
of that.
it's just the reaching for it, and then you make it over
Exactly,
there.
exactly.
That's what you have to, picture. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is one of our. This is Ed O'Brien. This is actually this picture was actually taken during the. This is during the maple syrup class. At the thing, yeah.
Well, where's the pancake
very
eating
That-
class?
I didn't.
Oh,
didn't,
you've got to do that one.
I didn't have a chance to take the picture of the pancakes.
While you were
I am
eating
sorry,
the
but yeah.
pancakes, no wonder I could understand.
But he's one of our permanent residents at the VA, and he likes to go out on a lot of these programs. He enjoys these immensely.
Sure.
I've always
Such a nice
always
guy.
have a chance to talk to him. But here he is, just taking pictures and getting help from one of the employees at VA or one of the
Nice.
I think it's one of the volunteers maybe.
Yeah, and for each of these, we work with professional photographers
Yes.
to facilitate the programs and teach them. So it's really high quality programming.
Is there any jobs that are, sustained from this? I mean, can you
We
provide
have
them?
started employing more veterans actually to teach the programs.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the nice thing about photography is there's a lot. Once you really learn it, there is a lot of opportunity
wow.
to make money off of it as well,
Well,
because
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a skill that can be employed.
And tangentially on that subject, one of the things that Growing Healthy Veterans is doing is we want to educate veterans how to farm, because that's one of the issues that we do have in this country is that we're losing a lot of farmers. They're aging out or et cetera, but a lot of these veterans that come back from the wars have found solace in farming, and we're kind of an introduction to it. And we're going to be hopefully offering an internship starting with some veterans next year. That's one reason why we're having our fundraiser on our Facebook page here pretty soon.
Wow, that's terrific.
Yeah, exactly. It's just showing, and this is just more of one of our hikes leading into the maple syrup thing, and you can see again. This is Ryerson. This is Ryerson Woods. Absolutely beautiful setting.
It is. And
for all of us.
in addition to the maple trees, there's some really incredible oak trees on the property.
Yes, they are
Hundreds
amazing.
of years old, and the oaks, a lot of people don't know that oak trees are actually in crisis in our region. A lot of them are dying out, and there aren't a lot of young oak trees coming up underneath them.
Right.
And they're a keystone species in the ecosystem. So that means that hundreds of other plants and animals depend on oak trees.
They support a lot. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at this one, this picture is the demonstration of how they extract the sap from the trees. I thought that was from the maple trees. So, and this is how they actually.
You have to boil it.
This is how they boil it down. I did not know it takes 40 gallons of sap to get 1 gallon of syrup.
40 to
gallons.
1.
I did not know this until then. And it's not just the photography and being out there. It's learning stuff like that. I had no clue, and the syrup.
I
was
know
delicious.
it comes in a bottle. That's about it.
Yeah,
It's
takes
sweet.
a lot of work.
It's sweet. Comes in a bottle.
Yes, yes. So that's just one example of the program that Brushwood has to offer. That they again, it's combining Lake County Forest Preserve with this photography program, where and these folks do it beautifully, doing different things.
Yeah, and we're starting to experiment too with other arts programming beyond photography. This Friday, actually, we have a program, and all veterans are welcome to it. It's a birding and poetry program that's led by the Audubon Society, Lake County Audubon. So they're going to lead a bird walk. This is like the best time of the season to see birds. Besides the springtime, the fall is when they're all migrating south. Yeah. So we should be seeing some real treasures, I think, on Friday.
I'm hoping. I'm not scheduled for that trip to take you guys. I'm hoping.
But you're hoping to be able to be in the transport to get.
I hope, yeah, because I just adore things like that. I love. To me, that's fascinating, especially, you know, when you hear, especially when you hear the problems that a lot of these species are having. Just to actually be witness to a success story. This is real quickly. I'm sorry. This is the. This is before we did our Deer Path ComEd prairie thing.
Yeah,
from there.
These pictures.
That big beast back there. That's actually one of the buses that I drive down there. But these are the veterans.
Wow.
These are the veterans that are actually trying to get the light out of there. These are the veterans that are participating in this particular program for taking pictures for ComEd, and you can see that the gentleman, one of the gentlemen here is one of the teachers that we use. He's also a veteran and a photographer. That he led us through the.
How many have you got in that group, Marshall? What would you say?
I believe this one we had, I want to say 4 or 5 vets at least.
Really?
And then we also had Elizabeth was there. I think there's a picture of you, Catherine, as a matter of fact. Again, these are the ones that I had taken. I didn't have a chance to get the vets pictures. These are some from in the book.
Yeah.
But there's also, this is one of our veterans. And not facing us. Again, as I explained, sometimes they prefer, so I'll take pictures of the back. But the gentleman on that side, Mike, he's one of the employees there that works with the rec staff as well. So again,
the flower! Look at that.
This was one of my close-ups.
Daisy is beautiful.
Yeah. Now,
here's the group shot.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Of everybody who went on that field trip.
And Lionel, like me, he's actually an employee at the VA as well, and he participates. This gentleman, this veteran, is the photographer that helped us. And you see Elizabeth and Catherine, and Mr. O'Brien and Mike, and I forgot who that gal was down there, but
Candy.
Oh, is that Candy? Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So that's the trip.
Your hair was a little longer there.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, but these are. You know, and one of the keys is that there's Mr. O'Brien again. He's very photogenic as far as I'm concerned. I take a lot of pictures of him. Yeah. So one of the advantages again is the fact that they're out there, but this little, almost literally a slice, is right here. It runs along 41 in the railroad tracks.
You would never think. It's this incredible, vibrant treasure of habitat.
And these and these guys, they tap into it to say, let's do this. Let's get out there and show. And when ComEd, I guess ComEd requested it, or
they've been a great partner,
fantastic
helping
partner.
to support this, and they have other sites throughout the region too. So that's part of the neat thing about this program is the photographs help draw attention to this beauty that we sometimes don't notice in the Midwest, you know?
You don't know it unless you're told of it. You know, you can't know it.
Or in this case, shown. Exactly.
Or shown, that's right.
Exactly.
That's correct,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is it that you have going? You've got an upcoming fundraiser or something? Or
So we have a couple programs this weekend, and Marshall can speak about his community gardening
I'll tell you. You go ahead
program,
and
too.
talk about what you got coming up, Catherine. I'm going to pull up the benefit here real quick.
Oh,
see if I can-
perfect. Yeah. So at Brushwood Center right now, we have an exhibition called Head in the Trees, and it's an artist named Kay Buckman. She's a Chicago artist who's created this series of really incredible ink
They're beautiful.
drawings and paintings.
They were at the benefit, weren't they? Some of those pictures there, I think.
These just went up a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are new, but she kind of combines myth and storytelling with her images of nature. So there's literally a head in the trees in this space, which is
Not just
really
figurative.
neat. Yeah.
there is a head in the trees.
Yeah, so she is speaking this weekend actually with Liam Heenahan, who is a professor at DePaul University and the author of this book, Beasts at Bedtime, which is all about children's stories and how they help to inform our perceptions of nature and of the natural world. So they're both going to be talking about the role of story with nature, and that's on Sunday at 3 o'clock. And just before that, we're having a family day as starting at 1 o'clock, where we'll have a campfire and s'mores and Potawatomi storytelling with Skip Twardoes.
Head
Oh, wow.
in the Trees,
Yes.
The Art of Kay Buckman and Students, September 16th through October 28th.
Yep.
So
the
there's
show
still
is-
time
There's plenty of time. The show is
to
open
see
through
this.
the end
It's
of the month.
beautiful.
And our exhibitions rotate through every 6 to 8 weeks. We bring in new artists and feature different talent. So actually in December, we'll be having a holiday market where we'll be featuring some of the veterans' work from the Addies program. And we'll also have some of our other student work. We have this incredible botanic artist. Her name is Hee-Young Kim. I think you guys have seen
Yes,
some
yes,
of
I
her
do believe
pieces.
so. Mhm.
I might have an image. Yep, I have her.
Oh, she's
So
incredible.
she
Oh, that's
does these
beautiful.
very detailed, wait till you see this,
Oh my goodness, look at that.
botanic pieces. And
this is all hand
it's
painted?
all hand done, hand painted.
I mean, this is not a photograph of something?
No,
Oh.
she teaches, she's internationally renowned.
This is incredible.
Her students are very talented as well, and she actually uses like a magnifying glass to paint these
Her
pieces
pictures
because they're so
that
detailed.
Yeah,
she
they are.
paints are like you taking a photographic picture. That is such a gift.
Capturing the beauty.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
stunning.
It's amazing.
Yours is the fast way, Marshall.
Mine is a fast way.
But it-
Trust me.
and-
I mean, when
and
you,
hers-
it's not. You
Thank you.
definitely capture. You definitely work hard on capturing that perfect moment.
Yeah.
But one of the keys, especially again with the digital camera advantages, you take a lot of pictures and you go through them and you see which one. But you know, when you do capture that one shot, despite the ones before and after, you know, okay, this one's going to be pretty dang good. I have a really good feeling about this. You know, you do know, you get that feeling, and there's
Oh,
been
sure.
several in there. The
Yeah.
ones that are that were in the book that they were gracious
Yeah.
enough to display. I knew. I'm like, this is going to be really. I could tell. It's going to be
See.
nice. Yeah. So this, I just want to show you this as well. This is the benefit that they had. Was this 3 weeks ago? I think.
Oh
Or-
yeah, with Angela Walker.
yeah, this is
With
Angela
Angela.
Walker, as a matter of fact. This is now. These are just pictures of the Addies program. You already seen that picture. This
Yes.
this is a poster they had there. And let's see here. I don't even know what I'm looking at there. Oh, this is
that's
just
the
this is not description of the Addies program. And there you see actually a lot of the veterans pictures on display during this benefit. Which, and let me say that the Ryerson residence is a wonderful venue for these different types of artists. It's especially not only its location, but the house itself is beautiful. It's
They're
just
really
Now
beautiful.
beautiful
You
space.
don't get to stay
Architecture.
there. You can't stay there.
You can't stay there, but it is available for events. So we host parties, retreats, meetings, but it's
I think that might be
great
it. on this
space
one.
for
I thought I took more.
for
There we
these
go.
classes
There we go.
and
Wow.
programs.
Right. This is again more of a display from the photography of the Addies program. And I'm trying to see if I can get. I don't know why it's not. There we go. This is an owl. This is
owl.
It's a no-named owl. It has an eye problem that was there at the benefit program. One of the things they did was they had different programs on display. Like there was a culinary program that helps veterans as well. That was there.
The Birdie
yeah.
Community House in Waukegan. Yeah, they do some great work. And the Waukegan Harbor Advisory Council, they've actually just installed a ADA accessible kayak and canoe launch on the harbor. So you can easily lower into a
Mary Beth is coming on the
into a
program,
boat.
so
Yeah.
Roberti, so she's going to
Oh,
be talking
wonderful.
about the community house.
Oh, that's great.
I'm anxious because all these places that are here, they're established. I've
Yeah.
not heard of any of this.
Well, this is again, it's just getting the word out. I mean, the help is there.
You could be
the-
right next
yeah.
door, and
And not
you
know.
don't even know. Oh,
I've been
know.
traveling up Route 41 for how many years? You know, for 30, 40 years. I didn't know that ComEd was doing this right
See?
down the street. I didn't know about. I knew about some of the woods off in Buffalo Grove in the area, but I didn't know about Ryerson Woods. I certainly didn't know about the Ryerson House. So, and I think, is this Angela?
Oh, that's Angela behind me.
That's
There's-
Catherine and Angela. This was her music is amazing. I mean,
She's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
her whole band is amazing, actually, but her voice is fantastic. It was just such a wonderful,
oh,
a
and I've
wonderful
seen
day.
that poster.
Mm-hmm.
She had the poster here last week. I said we could.
Yeah.
There's no way we could put that huge thing up. It was Earth, and
Yes.
looking.
The Earthrise.
That's right. It
Yeah,
was
taken
incredible.
from Apollo 8.
The Apollo 8 program
Yeah.
that was the mission that Frank Borman was on with. I'm sorry, science teacher. It was that he
Level.
was it Lovell, Borman, and there's a third I can't remember specifically, but they were, little side note, the Apollo 8 program, basically they were tasked to go around the moon to take pictures to find various landing sites, et cetera, et cetera. But what actually happened was they were not authorized to take this picture. They were not authorized to
Yeah.
take the Earthrise picture. But when they saw it, they're like, yeah, sorry,
How
NASA.
can you not?
How can you not take it? Exactly. So
I mean, can you go tomorrow and take a picture like that?
No.
You can't
No.
do that.
No.
Give me a
No.
break.
So
Talk
this
about
is-
the moment.
Yes,
That
it
was
See,
the
that was the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh,
there's
there
Angela
she
right
is.
there. Yeah, and it just it was a
Angela.
yeah. Like I said, the bugs, the mosquitoes were a little, they were challenging, but so worth it. I brought just to support the group. I wanted to be there. I put in to the raffle. I donated, won a few things,
Yeah,
two
you
things.
did.
I actually won the book Apollo 8
Oh,
by Frank Borman.
really?
So
You'll
Well,
know all the details.
I will. Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I will. But when I come to these functions, I bring the camera.
Sure.
Absolutely every time. I try to every
Because
time.
you don't know what you're going to see.
No, you don't.
And if you don't bring it, it will be on that occasion that you will miss whatever had
I will
happened.
miss my Earthrise.
And you should have said, I should have brought the camera.
Exactly.
See?
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It could be
Absolutely.
an
Exactly.
award-winning picture of whatever that you want. That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just a wonderful. The many things that are available are just they're there. And
Well,
there
Yeah.
are people like Catherine that are doing this. People like, not just me as a volunteer, but that are in my group, like Lucon and stuff. That just people care. People really care. And I think we're finally, I don't want to say reaching critical mass, but we're close. I mean, but there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to do.
Listen, if you can get a little bit out, I mean, to the ones who need it, you're magnificent. And to all our viewers out there, if you are a veteran, we have to put this out. If you're a veteran or not, and you'd like to participate in these programs, you can contact Catherine
Yep.
at Brushwood. Do we have a number
Yeah.
that they can?
We're at brushwoodcenter.org.
Okay.
And our number is 633-244-2425.
Okay.
And all of our veteran programs, it's also on our website. They're open to any veterans. We're also always looking for volunteers. So if anyone wants to get involved in that way, last year we had 200 volunteers help
Wow,
us.
that's
That's-
amazing.
It was really amazing.
Now
yeah.
you know people care.
Yeah.
And how did you get the word out with that?
Yeah.
Is it just by word of mouth, or did you?
A lot of word of mouth.
See?
We also worked with a lot of high school students, came out and helped.
That's nice.
They're really wonderful. It's nice to engage youth.
Very
We
nice, very
try to do a
nice.
lot of youth programming as
Nice.
well
Very
with the
nice.
community. So yeah, it is really good. Actually, I brought. I also brought some artwork, some from some of our younger artists.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can see this was a project this summer we worked on about migrating monarch butterflies.
Oh,
You know-
plant those milkweeds, people. Plant
Yes,
those milkweeds.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Marshall knows.
Oh, yeah.
The milkweed people.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at
Isn't that pretty?
Isn't this
Oh, that's
beautiful?
beautiful.
So this is a program called Symbolic Migration. The monarch butterflies, they migrate from Mexico up to Canada and then back. throughout the year.
Well, that's a lot of
Just
flapping of wings.
like the birds. It's
There's a flap.
I mean,
It is, it
when
is.
you think that
Too
a
tired.
butterfly does this, it's kind
that's
of
amazing.
ridiculous.
Oh,
It's amazing.
How
wow.
do they do that?
How did they find their way? Is what I want to know.
Well, they got somebody who's steering them,
They follow the milkweed
Yeah.
path.
the milkweed.
Yeah, it's amazing. So this was done by this group we worked with in Highwood, actually, Nuestro Center. And each of the kids designed one of these little butterflies.
Oh, that's adorable.
And they each painted them in different types of designs. And they will actually, it's part of this international program where these will actually get mailed to a classroom in
for
Mexico where the butterflies go.
Oh, wow.
And so they follow the monarch butterflies. And then in the spring, the class will get a batch of butterflies from Mexico
that's
back in their
fantastic.
classroom.
That is
So
fantastic.
it's a cool cultural exchange. In addition to sharing their art skills. I love this one
Oh,
with
very
the stripes.
Pretty. Very
Mm-hmm.
pretty.
So, you know, a little something for everyone.
That's really
So important that
Oh yes,
we
absolutely.
make these opportunities available for students, especially as art programs, you know, are less prevalent in schools.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
that used to be very big when I was, you know, much younger.
theater, band, art.
Art, you know,
Right.
gymnastics, you know, anything that could show self-expression. It was wonderful. And, you know, my children growing up, you know, I don't know if they didn't have it that much, but there was still orchestra and band for them to take care. And now my grandchildren, I don't know, they don't even have cursive writing. They stopped.
Things have
What is-
definitely
I
changed.
I don't know. Is this America? I
Yeah.
don't understand. You know, I don't understand it. That's really
Yeah.
incredible.
There's definitely
Yeah.
been some shifts, and I think a lot of it is due to technology, social media, but a lot of it's maybe the I don't want to say the political environment per se, but I think resources
too.
are
I mean,
huge. Yeah, I think
yeah.
education, in my humble opinion, is taking a huge bite, and they should not be, you know, suffering like they do. But just getting funding for some of these programs is just falling through. I mean, some teachers to me are absolutely amazing, and I was a horrible student. I mean, I was not the most well behaved, but they are one of the
They
most
are
underrated and one of the most underrated professions we have.
I mean, I was a brownie. I was a Girl Scout.
Sure.
I then became a leader, Girl Scout
Wow.
leader. My daughters, I have 4 daughters, 3 sons, 4 daughters, and brought them into the. And you have to learn to be able to become cohesive with each other. We went on overnighters, you know, and then making, cooking breakfast in the morning, and you know, it's not like camping at what is that one that Goldie Hawn was in at the
Basic training.
at the Marriott or whatever she.
Glamping?
Yes.
Glamping.
I mean, this was the real McCoy, babe. You know, you have to take you
Yeah.
out of your element. You know,
Totally.
but
There's
you
so
know,
much
this is-
value in that.
you know,
too.
but this shows, you know, what our forefathers went through. I mean, even coming to Americas, of not having that opportunity to really have such plush living, whatever. Even a bed is considered plush, considering when you
Yeah.
have 8 or 10 in a family that are sleeping on floors and chairs, 2 chairs together, and that's your bed. You know.
That's
Yeah.
So-
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and just a side subject, somewhat related, is that, you know, the homeless veterans are very prevalent. Suicide
Sure.
rates are much higher. Well, not much higher, but significantly higher for veterans than they are for
Sure.
the general population.
Yes.
And we were talking about why don't they know about a lot of these things that are available to them, because again, sometimes they don't make the connection. They don't get there. They don't want the help. They don't want the help. You know.
Well, a lot of the veterans, they suffer from PTSD. They
Yes.
have some
Yeah.
emotional problems, and even if they knew that there was help there for them, they won't go. They won't go. It's like
Yeah.
There's medication for you to take. Will you take it? No, I don't want to take it.
And a lot of these
Right.
a lot of these programs, at least one of our goals is to help them not necessarily to have to take as much medication. With gardening and farming for veterans, it's been proven, and there's testimonials all over about how they would take such a medication for this, such medication for that, but when they commune with the dirt or with nature, that they don't need them as much or at all, you know. And it's alternative to more of the conventional methods of treatment.
And it's
So.
especially for veterans who are reluctant to go to the VA.
Exactly.
You know, these programs are really important in that way
Yes.
because they're entry points, they're safe entry points.
Sure.
Where you don't feel like you're going to an institution.
Well, we had horse feathers on about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And that was wonderful
Yeah.
because we had a veteran come on and he was telling how he has to groom the horses in the morning because the kids, there were some kids that needed some contact with an animal. They felt that the animal gave them, you know, compassion and gave them understanding.
It's a connection.
It is
It's a
with an
connection.
animal. And, you know, it's same with these animals, a dog or a cat or a bird or
course.
whatever. It lets the person feel, you know, kindness, gentleness, even responsibility to feed a little animal. A fish.
Right.
A fish.
Yeah.
If you don't feed the fish,
You're-
you know,
exactly.
you're going to be in
Yeah.
trouble.
Well,
So-
there is a program out towards, I believe, Huntley, west of here in Illinois, called Braveheart, which is a therapeutic horse program that our veterans go to from VA as well. Again, it's just one of the many things that are available to them, and it's really made a difference. They go out there, you know, season permitting, of course. But yeah, that's the connection with horses. So, but this, I just want to show this really quick. This is our garden. We just had our fall harvest and grilling. And these are all taken with the camera from the program.
You can see it. You took the
Yes.
picture.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly,
there.
exactly.
You don't have to just talk
So,
about it.
and these are actually some of the equipment that was donated by Home Depot.
Oh, that's very nice.
Nice.
That's
Mhm,
very
at Round
nice.
Lake and Gurney Mills.
Wow.
The Gurney Mills Home Depot donated over $10,000 worth of gift certificates for equipment.
Wow.
And this is the Veterans Volunteer Corps in Antioch. They came out to cook for us that day. Matter of fact, there's their big sign. And you can see this is a lot of the produce that we've harvested.
They're taking home.
I believe these are our potatoes, the red potatoes. Yep, there
Yeah,
it is.
there it is.
Oh,
Yep.
beautiful.
And we produced a lot. And these, you can see Suzanne. She's one of our rec therapists at the VA. One of the rec therapists at the VA. It's hard for me to see, but and again, there's a lot of vets that are out there from the PTSD program. Again, more potatoes. I'm kind of going quickly through them for you. Just harvesting, and there's a radish. That's
Look
Lucan
at the
holding
size
it.
of
Isn't
that
that
radish.
beautiful? This is the
Wow.
first time this
Beautiful
plant has
radish.
been planted on in a very long time, but it's just produced wonderfully.
Wow.
Plus, we had the DK Organics up the road here
Squash.
donate a lot of the compost and
Wow.
stuff.
Oh, how
That's a
nice.
squash, and again, I don't know why I like taking pictures of some of these vegetables, but I did. This is one of my favorite shots of one of the pumpkins.
Pumpkin.
And this is actually one of the bigger ones. We had a much bigger one that got accidentally disconnected from the vine. So
Oops.
yes, but it was again. This is the garden in North Chicago that we're going to try and emulate, as well as add a hoop house to in Gurney as well.
Awesome.
And if veterans or anybody wants to know more information, they can go to our Facebook page,
Which is
facebook.com/growing healthy veterans. Plural.
Growing Healthy
Yeah.
Veterans. Isn't
So,
that
yeah, it's just
Right.
an amazing program. Very successful first year, and we can't wait to do more with it. You know, and programs like Brushwood and all the things out there for vets are amazing
Wow.
for people. And I've eaten them up. I'm a vet. I participate, and it has absolutely been a changer for me, a life changer, not just volunteering, but being a part of.
You've
Absolutely.
been wonderful guests. And
Thank you, Beth.
the
Thank
time
you.
has gone.
It
You
has.
said
It
an
has
hour. Oh, I can't do it.
What do
I
we-
said, oh yeah, you'll be able to do it really easy. Don't worry
Exactly.
about it. So we want to thank you so very much for coming this evening. And
been a pleasure.
thank you for allowing us in your home or your place of business. And have a pleasant evening, a very safe week. See you next week on North Shore Live. Cooper's Corner, and you can see us on YouTube. So please check out our YouTube and have a very pleasant evening. Remember, it's going to rain for the next couple days.